You have been kept in the darkness, on purpose, and what you are about to learn will shock you.
Woolly mammoths, saber-toothed cats, endless sheets of ice. This is what we imagine when we hear Ice Age, but what if I told you the Ice Age never really ended? Geologically speaking, we're living in an interglacial period, a brief warm spell in the current Quaternary Ice Age, because our planet still has permanent ice sheets at both poles. This raises a far more interesting question. What did our world look like the last time there was no ice at all? A truly green, hothouse Earth.
To find that world, we have to travel back much further than you'd think. Back 34 million years, to the Late Eocene epoch. Forget what you know about our planet's geography. In the Eocene, sea levels were over 200 feet higher. Coastlines were completely redrawn, and entire regions like Florida were submerged. And Antarctica? It wasn't a frozen wasteland, it was a lush subtropical swampland, teeming with life. A world almost impossible to recognize.
Global temperatures were scorching, 5 to 8 degrees Celsius hotter than today. This wasn't a world of ice, but of sweltering heat and extreme weather. In this oppressive warmth, monsters thrived, and the most terrifying of all lurked beneath the waves. This was the undisputed king of the Eocene oceans, the Basilosaurus. Not a reptile, but a hyper-carnivorous ancient whale. Stretching 60 feet long, it had a jaw full of teeth designed for one thing: killing other whales. It was an apex predator in a sea of giants, hunting its own smaller cousins, the Dorodon, in a brutal underwater ballet. But the whales weren't the only titans. Imagine a shark, the ancestor of the Megalodon, growing over 30 feet long. This was a tortoise, and it shared these waters. And then there were the serpents, giant sea snakes like Paleoanthropology, stretching 40 feet, nearly the length of a school bus, hunted in these ancient seas. The oceans were a battlefield of giants. But what kind of creatures could possibly rule the land in a world this extreme? On land, the age of mammals was in full swing, but these were not the mammals we know. This was a world of rhinos that weren't rhinos. Meet the Brontotheres, hulking 4-ton beasts with massive, bony horns on their noses. They roamed in herds across the warm woodlands of North America. There were also the embrithopods, like Arsinotherium, looking like something from a fantasy novel. Massive, vaguely elephant-like creatures with colossal dual horns. But the herbivores weren't safe. The true kings of the Eocene land weren't mammals at all. They were reptiles and birds. Giant land-dwelling crocodiles called cebicids, with long legs and serrated teeth like dinosaurs, hunted in packs, ambushing anything they could catch.
And soaring above, or rather stalking below, were the terror birds, towering, flightless predators up to 10 feet tall, with hooked beaks that could shatter bone. Primates existed, but they were small, lemur-like creatures hiding in the trees, just trying to survive in a world dominated by reptilian and avian giants. So how did this alien hothouse world come to an end? It all started with a slow continental breakup. For millions of years, Antarctica was connected to Australia and South America, allowing warm ocean currents to circulate around it, keeping it lush and green. But as the continents drifted apart, a new, powerful ocean current formed, the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. It was a ring of icy water isolating the continent. This new current acted like a planetary air conditioner, blocking all warm water and plunging Antarctica into a deep freeze. For the first time in millions of years, a permanent ice sheet began to form, gradually. The green hothouse was over. The Grande Coupure, the Great Break, was a massive extinction event. The world cooled rapidly. The lush forests receded, replaced by open grasslands and savannas. The giant, slow-moving megafauna of the Eocene couldn't adapt. The reign of the Brontotheres and terror birds ended, making way for new animals adapted for a cooler, more open world. A world that would eventually lead to our own. This single geological event plunged Earth into the ice age we still live in today, locking away vast amounts of water and completely reshaping life on the planet. The world of the Late Eocene, a terrifying, beautiful, and completely alien version of our home, was lost forever, buried under miles of ice. It serves as a stark reminder that our planet's climate is not static. It is a powerful, dynamic system capable of dramatic and world-altering shifts.
And while the ancient cooling was natural, today we are pushing the climate in the opposite direction at a speed the planet has never experienced before. Will we ever see a completely ice-free Earth again? The answer is almost certainly yes, but the timeline is now uncertain. Natural cycles predict another 50 million years, but human activity could drastically accelerate that, creating a new kind of hothouse, a world we are completely unprepared for. The past shows us what's possible, but the future is a story we are still writing. So the next time you think of the Ice Age, remember the even stranger, warmer world that came before it, a world of giants, monsters, and a climate so extreme it makes our own look tame. A world that proves our planet's normal state isn't necessarily the one we're used to, and that the balance between a hothouse and an icehouse Earth is more fragile than we could ever imagine. And oh, if you liked the video, don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe for more knowledge of our history. See you next video. Bye!